What's up, guys? So in this video, we're going to be covering should you be traveling while running an online business or SMMA or whatever niche you might be in. And so I started my SMMA roughly in February of last year. Beforehand, there was just a couple months of not really knowing what the hell I was doing and kind of doing trial and error, thinking I can do everything myself. But once it then took off and I was making a couple $1,000s a month, I decided to travel the world because SMMA was really a vehicle for me to travel the world. And for you, it might be a different reason, right? Like we all have different goals, we all have different ambitions, and it's important to kind of ground yourself in those reasons why you're doing what you're doing. But once I started making a couple $1,000s a year, I was like, okay, fuck this, I'm out. And so I joined the mentorship by Masterminds in March. It was like my first involvement into the online money making space, like actually coming face to face with people who are also in this space. And that kind of like started this entire thing for me. And that was the beginning of my journey. And it's pretty incredible kind of looking back as to how far I've come by just sticking with something for long enough. Just stick with one thing for long enough, do the work, and it's going to work out eventually if you actually aren't an idiot. Okay. So should you travel? And so after my Dubai Mentee retreat, I backpacked Eastern Europe, solo backpack Eastern Europe. But at the time, I was only making a couple $1,000s a month. I think I made $6,000 or $7,000 in March. And I was like, okay, I got to get this out of my system. I got to travel the world. I got to do this now. But looking back, I could have made so much more money. I could have made so much more money if I just sat down in one spot and worked. And so here's the yes, you should travel. Yes, you should travel because why wouldn't you? Why would you stay in one place? Why would you stay in one place, not meet face to face with these people? And when you do experience the world, when you do travel with other agency owners, you're meeting people in person, and what that does to your mind, what that does to your subconscious, it opens everything up for you, especially if you're meeting people in person who are doing better than you. And when I first got involved into the space and I met everyone in Dubai who were making tens of $1,000s a month, I said to myself, like, if they're human, I'm human. Like, what's different about them than me? And it really just came down to knowledge, implementation, and a couple other things for the most part. But meeting people in person, traveling with your guys, building an online agency, it's one of the most powerful feelings because you sync onto each other's wavelength. You just continuously wake up early each morning, go to sleep the last person at night, just constantly working, and you become obsessed. And it's easier to become obsessed when you're with other people who are also obsessed as opposed to kind of doing everything on your own. But traveling and seeing the world, it adds so much authority to what you're doing. It adds a lifestyle aspect, especially if you're building a brand. Like looking at my old videos, like I wanted my style to be raw and real. I don't want to do any fancy Mr. Beast cuts or any AI edits or any of this TikTok brain garbage, because I want my target audience to be people who are able to listen to long form conversations or just long form people talking. And so my earlier videos were me just traveling different European cities with my GoPro, just keeping everything raw and real because that's what I wanted. And by extension, I hopefully attracted some of these people who travel the world, are also building an online agency, and they can meet me with where I'm at, and I hope that I can help them and give them value. And so that's kind of part of the reason why I was doing what I was doing, was because I wanted to attract my target audience, my ICP. And so with that, traveling just added so much more world experience. It's so much cooler to talk about at dinner tables or meeting random people. So you have the mindset aspect of actually seeing people in person who are doing better than you, and that opens up your mind, and that is invaluable. That truly is invaluable because there's levels to the game. I was just thinking about this earlier. There's levels to the game, and each level is going to open itself, but you have to have experiences. It's not going to just open up by itself. Like these epiphany moments, these realization moments, guys, they come from actually putting yourself in these situations. And one is just traveling the world and meeting people. And in addition to that, like those are some of the biggest reasons as to why I traveled Eastern Europe. But there was a point where it was too much. Like I remember doing 8 countries, I believe, in less than 2 weeks. And that was just fucking chaotic. Like that, I do not recommend. Unless everything's automated, you're established, you're making 6 figures a month, or you hit your goals or whatever you want to do. And then you can go crazy. Like I know I want to do that again, but I'm not moving until I hit six figures a month, because that's kind of my goal for next year. Or it's going to happen before a year, but in the short term. But like constantly traveling, doing countries like 2-3 days at a time, I don't recommend that. Like, to be completely honest, I did that. I experienced that. You have to worry about hotels. You have to worry about not getting in trouble with the law. You have to worry about making sure you get your visas if you're not an American citizen, or if you don't have a strong passport. And so there's so many things out of your control, guys, that are just like mind space, that are just fucking your mind. You need to be able to free your mind. And one of the habits I've seen of high performing individuals is like their minds are so protected against anything they don't want to deal with, whether it's a negative energy, or delegating a task that's like sub $1,000 if it's cost that much. Like, just protecting your minds, because you need to be able to think clearly. It's truly a thinking game. Like, all of this stuff, it's a thinking game, it's a chess game. You need to be able to think about the next couple moves. And if you're just constantly thinking about how I'm going to be traveling, that's a pain in the ass. And that's awful. And you don't have time to think about what you actually want, because your mind is so occupied with the things that you have to focus on the immediate now when it comes to travel and buses and transportation and logistics and food. It's a lot. So I would say my advice would be, if you do want to travel, I recommend it. Pick a country for 1 or 2 months. If you want to hop around different countries, that's entirely okay. Travel with guys, unless because of the mindset aspect that I just spoke about. Travel with guys, find people, join a mentorship, reach out to people, and actually get involved. You can't just sit on the sidelines and expect for there to be tremendous results when you're just doing the same exact thing each and every single day. So that's kind of what I recommend. Past couple months, I was in Tulum, and then I was in Europe, and then I was back in Tulum over the summer. So it really just comes down to what you want, and that's important, and you need mind space to figure that out. Now, staying at home, this is the other side, because there's always two sides to the coin. And I'm going to speak as if I truly believe on what I'm saying, right? It's like, why would you travel? What? You're going to travel the world, spend loads of money, worry about all this bullshit. Why wouldn't you just stay in one location, make it work? Because you're dependent on a location to solve your problems? I mean, what are you thinking? And so you could save everything that you're going to be spending while traveling and just put it into paid ads. Because the truth is, if you invest into yourself, the results aren't linear. It's exponential. And so you're going to have a quicker time to value, or time to achieving your goals, by just sticking in one spot and actually putting in the inputs, reinvesting everything back into the company, even if that means sacrificing a short-term living with your parents. I get it. Trust me, I get it. And so why would you travel the world when truly all you need is a computer and an internet connection? And so if you're not the type of person to be able to make your environment work to your reality, you're going to depend on an external environment to travel and be around other people to make it work for you? I don't know. Well, that's the other side, right? Like, okay, so that's the other side. And there's two sides to the coin, but I recommend travel the world, meet with some guys, but also, this is another caveat. Most people, this might sting. Most people aren't worth meeting. And what I mean by that is they don't really provide anything valuable. They have low integrity. They're not good people to be around. They don't have your back if things kind of take off. And they're just like not worth being around. Like, I've experienced this. And because I've been around different agency owners. I'm not saying I'm like some god or something, but like, I have pretty high standards for myself. And by extension, my close friends around me need to have those standards, or else I don't want to be around you. That's the truth, right? So the only way to actually understand the types of people aren't worth meeting is to experience meeting more people. And so you need to figure this out for yourself. But first of all, it comes down to, what do you want? That's important. So that's both sides of the coin to traveling the world. And that's my advice on traveling. I would say travel, pick a country, stay there for 1 or 2 months, travel to another country, 1 or 2 months. You need to clear up your mind space in order to actually build a long-term agency. But that's been my experience. And I've been to close to 20 new countries in the last year. I've been making close to $20,000 every single month for the past couple months. And now I'm locked in, back at one location. I'm on the other side of the coin, just figuring it out until I hit six figures a month. But I hope this is of value to those who are building an online business on whether or not you should be traveling the world.